We know you, and I believe you know us, because you are one of us. But we will do an introduction for the purposes of our record. My name is Martha Kome. I am the chairperson of the Judicial Service Commission. Welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice. My name is Machari Njeri. I'm the Vice Chair.
Pat Gishohi, karibu sana.
David Majanja, Commissioner.
Thank you, my lord.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oluwande Evelyn, Chief Magistrate and also Commissioner. You are welcome and I wish you well.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Jacqueline Ngutia, Commissioner, wishing you the very best and welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Olive Mugenda, Commissioner representing the public work.
Thank you, Professor.
Mohamed Warsame, karibu sana.
Thank you, my lord.
Your Honor, Justice Mohamed Ibrahim of the Supreme Court of Kenya, representing that court to this commission. I'm happy to see you after many, many years.
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Commissioners, for that introduction. Before we go to the formal part of the interview, Honorable Ambasi, you can tell us your county and your ethnicity.
Thank you, my lady, the Chief Justice. I was born in Nairobi.
Your county.
My county?
Yes.
My county is, on my ID is my husband's county, which is Kapsabet.
Which one do you like to associate with?
With the Nairobi County,
Nairobi.
my lady, yes.
And your ethnicity?
I am a Kikuyu.
Kikuyu. You know why we ask?
Yes, my lady, I do.
Intrusive questions? Yes. We've read your CV and looked at your documents. I must commend you. You keep a very good record of your documents. They are very well arranged.
Thank you, my lady.
I think you are an organized person.
Thank you very much.
So you can briefly tell us in 3 or 4 minutes about yourself, your background, your academic, professional, and work experience. And please remember to highlight some of the key achievements that you have made in your own career and why you think you are suitable for the position that you have applied for, Judge of the High Court.
Thank you, my lady, the Chief Justice. I studied law at the University of Nairobi, where I graduated from, and also enrolled for a master's degree. After that, I attended the Kenya School of Law for my diploma in law. I have worked, my first 10 years were in private practice. And during that time, I was a very active member of FIDA Kenya. And one of the things I remember doing is organizing a workshop in Eldoret for the chiefs to bring them up to speed on succession laws. After leaving private practice, I joined the office of the Attorney General, where I worked for 15 years. While in that office, I was able to work in different departments, including the public prosecution, the public trustee, before moving to the Department of Treaties and Agreements. And I rose to be the head of the Legal Advisory Division. My key achievement, what I remember most about being in the AGs was being part of the team that concluded the Nile Treaty, finished at 3 a.m. one night at Sharm el-Sheikh, among other things. During that time, I also took the new state, the county attorneys for induction, the first lot. After that, my lady, I joined the judiciary in 2016 as a chief magistrate. During that time, I have been a head of station in Busia, where I currently am. And my strength during my time in judiciary has to be able to work with the stakeholders and bring them on board to do projects. For instance, if you go to Meru Court today, you will find that we have a children's holding cell, which I initiated and was funded, fully funded by a stakeholder to have a separate holding cell for children because they used to be brought together with the adults. In Busia, again, I've worked with stakeholders. As I speak, my lady, we now have a ready-built courtroom, which is ready for use as we wait for the government projects to be completed. In a summary, that is who is before your leadership.
The principle of independence and how you navigate that with interdependence.
Thank you, my lady. Article 160 of the Constitution mandates the judiciary to be independent and to be not under the direction of any body or any person. We should reach our decisions based on the evidence that we have before us. But being independent does not mean that we do not link with other bodies. That's why we have stakeholders with whom we have to work together. The National Council on Administration of Justice, for instance, is a very good example on why we need to work. We are not an island on our own. We need to work with other institutions. These are our stakeholders, and working hand in hand with them, we're able to realize the dream for the judiciary.
Yes. How do you ensure that the independence of the judiciary is maintained even when you are interacting with the others, especially in your decision making to carry out yourself as a person who is beyond reproach?
Thank you, my lady, Chief Justice. To do that means that what will guide my decision at the end of the day is the evidence that I have before me. That is what I will base my case on. It will not be by other people's comments or other people's interests. It is what is the evidence that is before me that guides me in reaching a decision, fidelity to the law.
Yes, and how do you make sure that the public perceives you as that person who is only guided by the law? Because you have to do the other interactions.
Yes, you will interact, my lady, and when you deliver your judgment, deliver it in open court, you read the reasons, you read what you had, you read what you took into account to reach a decision, so that it is very clear that what you are reaching, the final outcome is not influenced by anything else outside. It is only what is before you as the law, my lady.
I've looked at your CV and you are very strong on reaching out to the marginalized, which we really commend you for.
Thank you.
Because that is part of the vision of the judiciary, to reach out to the poor and the marginalized. But you deal with so many other issues as a chief magistrate. Just tell the commissioners what philosophy guides you in your decision making.
Thank you, my lady, the Chief Justice. My philosophy is to do good. My philosophy is to do justice. My philosophy is to be seen to be an impartial, independent, and somebody who is beyond reproach, not corrupt, and not influenced by other factors outside my work.
Thank you. The next set of questions will be asked by Justice Ibrahim.
Thank you, my lady.
Thank you, Honorable CJ. Honorable Ambasi, my questions will revolve around leadership. I've read your CV, quite impressive, from the time you admitted to presently, and you are very rounded with experience in the legal sector when you were in practice. Then you joined the Attorney General's office, rose to the rank that you have referred to there and done so much. And now you entered because of your seniority, you entered as a chief magistrate, and you have performed very well from what your CV says. My role now is to ask you, just for purposes, record purposes, and for further details, what are your strengths? What are your attributes in leadership as chief magistrate or any other position you have held as a leader, whether in the AG's office or even running any of the law firms you worked for?
Thank you, my lord. I would say my biggest strength is my ability to work with people and to lead people from the front by example. I'm able to marshal the teams that I work with by showing them what we should be doing. So I believe in both servant leadership and also leading from the front, so that we are able to move towards direction. It's also important to have a vision. What do you want to achieve? And share that vision with the people that you work with. So together as a team, you're able to move towards a certain goal.
Thank you. Talking about vision, the judiciary has a vision which was set out at the launch of the tenure of our Honorable CJ, just over 1 year, and the vision is judiciary's social transformation through access to justice. You are aware of that?
Yes, my lord, I am.
Okay. What are can you comment about those visions? And so far, what have you done in Busia to achieve this?
Thank you, my lord. The vision by the Chief Justice of sustaining transformation through access to justice has several pillars. We call it a multi-layered cake because it has several approaches to reach several goals. One of the limbs that I'm very keen about is the uptake of technology in our everyday courts. And this came in very handy when COVID hit Busia in 2021. Because at the time then there was a complete lockdown and we couldn't access our customers. So the first thing we did and have done since then was to fully go digital in plea taking. My lord, Busia is a one court county. The entire court has only one court. So we have people being transported from near the lake all the way to near Mount Elgon to come and take pleas. So my CUC and I decided that we were going to go digital and have pleas taken virtually. And this has worked very well. In fact, the uptake of digitization has even gone to matters of succession, where when we have matters of succession, I will have parties log in from the US, from outside the country, and we're able to hear matters and deal with very quickly. Yes.
In your career as a magistrate, as a judicial officer, and even in Busia, can you give or demonstrate to us how you have contributed personally to the advance of access to justice by the vulnerable people, people with challenges of various kinds, whether physical or otherwise?
Thank you, my lord. Busia County is a county, I'd say, that is beset by challenges in economic factors. And our Wanjikos, sometimes it's very difficult for them to come to court. And we try as much as possible not to have adjournments, especially when you have succession cases, so that these people who can't even manage to get fair to come to court are able to be heard. When we talk about persons who are differently abled, it's unfortunate when Busia Court was constructed, it doesn't have ramps. So what we do is that when we know there's a differently abled person coming to court, we are on standby with my executive officer to have them lifted and carried to their respective court, because there are no ramps. So we make a note when we have differently abled people coming to court. So
Yes.
we improvise as and when, depending on the situation.
Apart from that, so what I would call innovation
Yes, my lord.
of assisting the disabled, what other creativity, past creativity and innovations have you carried out in various stations? Because the challenges are not always the same.
Yes, they are not.
Yeah.
When I was in Meru, we had a lot of. There was a case I did that about 11 school children who were survivors of defilement, and they would come to court and spend the whole day in court being heard. We try to fast track, give them priority. Even in court now, as I go to sit, when I see a mother with a baby, I want to know what matter do they have so that we can hear them first and release them. What we did in Meru was to start, there used to be a poor box a long time ago, but it's no longer there.
A what?
A poor box.
Yes.
A kitty that used to be there so that it could be used for small, to buy people maybe lunch, because we don't have that in the AIE. We don't have an AIE vote for buying people lunch. So the court would come together and take care of some of these victims so that we're able to hear them and give them preference. Give them preference in hearing so that we're able to not keep them waiting the whole day.
Yes.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, definitely you have been what I would call a leader as a chief magistrate and in other roles. What would you say are the challenges you have seen in the High Court, and hopefully when you come you would be able to take a personal initiative to promote certain changes or reforms? What are glaring aspects in the High Court structure and even performance that you think you can play a very vital role in?
One of the recurrent issues, my lord, in not just the High Court but in all stations is the question of backlog. The old cases that do not seem to get completed. If and when come to the High Court, I am a performer. One of the first things I do is identify in my docket cases that are older than 3 years. Find out why they are taking so long. Get rid of interlocutory applications that are pending and list the matter for substantive hearing and determination. So I'll apply active case management to identify old cases and get rid of them.
Okay, thank you. That would be an interesting and important strategy. Now, to sum up, what is your view of the role of the judiciary in national development?
Thank you, my lord. Judiciary is a key player in the economy of the country. If we take Vision 2030, for instance, the commercial division of the High Court will come in very handy in ensuring, one, disputes are resolved as quickly as possible so that we don't have money tied up for economic activities. This can be done through arbitration or through just fast-tracking cases. I think the ease of doing business would want an environment where they are sure that the judiciary is going to be able to deliver judgments which are reasonable, given in good time, and the uptake of digitalization would also be a very crucial aspect in that. So we are key players in Vision 2030. The medium term frameworks, the 5-year plans, we are also very interconnected with that. So we are very key in the development of the country.
Okay. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, my lord.
Yes. Thank you. The next set of questions will be asked by Commissioner Macharia.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice. Now, 2 questions. The first one relates to the hearing of matters, which of course has an impact on the backlog and ability to expedite the conclusion of disputes. Now, I would be interested in hearing your views because, you know, there are these many complaints that keep coming from stakeholders, the lawyers, and by extension, of course, the parties that they represent, regarding the many functions that the judiciary has that take them away from their core duty of hearing matters. Now, and the magistrates, of course, have also been culprits regarding that. What is your view regarding it, and how do you think it's best resolved?
Thank you, Commissioner, Deputy Chair. I believe the Law Society has a valid point when they cry about unexpected adjournments, because it's also disruptive for the diary. I think it's important for the judiciary to have a calendar of events so that it is known for sure there will be a colloquium in this month. The heads of stations will be going for work plan meetings on these dates, heads of station. Once we have that calendar and we disseminate in good time, then there'll be no abrupt disruption of court sittings, because it's truly quite disrupting, and I hear the Law Society when they cry.
No.
So if we had a calendar in the judiciary and we stuck to that calendar, that it's known these are the events that are going to be taken, then I think perhaps that might reduce the hue and cry.
Yeah. But you see now, the other problem is that if we elevate you to become a judge, actually judges love them even more, those events that will take them away, but they leave now people crying, and I'm saying this for a fact because, like for us, even who represent the Law Society, the Commission, we are blasted so badly, that why can't this event be done on a Friday afternoon, for instance? Why does it have to take us away? And we have, we've prepared witnesses, we've done all this, then all of a sudden, our matters can't be heard. I mean, what is the permanent solution to this? Because it's a recurrent problem.
I hear you, Commissioner Njeri. And remember, I was in practice for about 10 years, so I wore that shoe. And I know the implication of when you are ready for a hearing and it's postponed. And this actually even goes hand in hand with what His Lordship has also asked me about, how do we tie in with the economy of the country? Because the minute we have all these disruptions, then the predictability of court is reduced. And that ease of doing business is reduced, because it means that if there's a commercial dispute in court, you're not assured that it will be concluded in a year or two. I would still go with having a fixed calendar of events which is shared with our stakeholders, so that it's known in advance. The court will not sit in this week, so no matters are fixed, rather than have matters fixed and taken out. If we shared that calendar, perhaps then everybody would know no dates would be taken. Then we take dates when the court is available.
My final question is that now, would you demonstrate what you've done yourself now as the head of station, also as a JO, in ensuring that firstly matters are concluded expeditiously, but also in a qualitative manner, And also, in the event people are not satisfied with the decision, and parties sometimes are not satisfied and they want to go to the next level, that they'll have proceedings readily available so that they can try their luck at the next level.
Thank you, Commissioner. You've also touched on another thing that has been a big challenge, I think, for the judiciary, lack of secretaries. And I believe the judiciary, the JS, yourselves, the commission is working on that. Because for as long as we don't have secretary, we might finish a matter in good time, but the proceedings cannot be typed because it's probably Busia. We have 2 secretaries, 2 secretaries with 4 magistrates, a Kathy, and 2 judges. So there's a challenge there. But I'm told the secretaries will be recruited. But what we can promise to do is, me as a judicial officer, me as a magistrate, I will finish my work. Let me finish my judgments. Let it be ready, and let it only just spend for typing. So long as I'm able to, let me give the results, let me finish the judgments, so that when the secretaries are recruited, then the issue of pending proceedings will now be a matter of, it will be finalized or resolved at some point. Thank you.
Commissioner Justice Wasame.
Thank you, Honorable CJ. Welcome, Your Honor.
Thank you, my lord.
Your Honor, what is your understanding of Article 159 of the Constitution?
Article 159 is a judiciary mandate, which is derived from the people.
In respect of substantive and procedural?
Article 159 regarding substantive and procedural, some parties want to hide under that article, saying that they need not follow the procedural aspects of proceedings. But I think that has been resolved in Raila 2, which held that that article is not a panacea for all cures.
Okay, thank you very much. Who can sue or defend a suit when a question arises as to the estate of a deceased person?
A person who has a grant of letters of administration, my lord?
Yes, even an interim one.
Yeah, even ad collegenda letters.
Okay. What is the role of pleadings in a dispute filed before you? Especially the prayer sought by the parties, and what you award in the final decision. What is the role?
My lord, my understanding is that parties are bound by their pleadings.
Parties are bound by the pleadings.
Yes, what is in your pleadings is what you will get.
Okay, so as a judge or a magistrate, you cannot award outside what was pleaded by the parties.
In some instances.
In all instances.
Not in all. You are bound by what their prayers are.
You are bound by what their prayers are.
Yes.
So as a magistrate or as a judge, you cannot
go outside and start giving what they didn't ask for.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that what you did in the Busia case?
Which particular one, my lord?
The case involving the estate of the case involving some lady who was suing on behalf of her husband, your first case. In your sample of writings, where somebody applied for an order of permanent injunction from the property or the suit property, an order that the plaintiff defendant not to be sold. In the pleadings or in the evidence, there was evidence. This was a dispute about somebody who borrowed 200,000, passed on. His daughter sued on the National Bank of Kenya.
The daughter was sued.
She sued. That is your first sample writing.
Yes.
And where she did not exhibit letters of administration, and you said letters of administration for purposes of this suit cannot be a bar under Article 159 of the Constitution. You dealt with the matter, and then finally you entered you entered a permanent injunction against the bank. And the secondly, and the most worrying for me, you awarded
200,000.
400,000 to be paid to the bank.
Yes.
Well, the evidence is there saying that they are willing to pay 600,000. Nobody applied for that order which you gave. The second order which they prayed was an order that the plaintiff defendant do enter into an agreement on settlement of the reasonable amount the bank is entitled to. In your view, were you right under the circumstances now with the answers you have given?
What I remember, my lord, is there was an offer to pay the bank 600,000 shillings.
Yes.
Which
was rejected by the bank.
They wanted the full amount, which I applied the induplum rule and found they were asking for way above what was due to them.
Okay. But the point I'm making to you is that no such prayer was sought by the parties, by either of the parties.
For the payment?
For the payment, yes.
Okay.
It was an oversight on your part?
Most likely.
Okay. It was also an oversight that you allowed somebody who was not a legal administrator to sue the bank, and you sustained the suit.
I gave reasons. She had been brought into the suit
by being served
by being served by the bank.
Notice.
Yeah.
Not served, but they said for onward transmission.
Yes, they had brought her on board. The bank brought her on board.
Okay. In your view, what is viva voce evidence?
Oral evidence, verbal evidence.
And who is entitled to give viva voce evidence, in your view?
I normally say any party who is a witness can give viva voce evidence, but particularly in objection proceedings in succession matters, sometimes they may want to give viva voce evidence other than the affidavits.
So your understanding of a viva voce evidence is what?
Verbal, spoken, oral.
Oral.
Yes, my lord.
Okay. In the second case, which you also mentioned, is what you call cohabitational marriage. Is there such thing in law?
They know, your lordship.
Okay. I wish you well. Thank you very much, Honorable CJ.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next set of questions will be asked by Commissioner Judge Majanja.
Yes, thank you, Chair, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
A few questions. I've looked at your writings, your recent judge decisions in the matter. You write well, clearly. Just want to ask a few further questions. Now, when you come to the High Court, one of the things you'll be getting on a daily basis are applications for injunctions.
Yes, my lord.
And I'm sure you're familiar with the case of GLA versus Casman Brown.
Yes, I am.
Many people can sing it. What I want to know is, you know the principles of GLA versus Casman Brown.
Yes, my lord.
You have to have a prima facie case. You have to consider whether damages are an adequate remedy. And lastly, balance of convenience if you are in doubt. What has the Court of Appeal recently said about these three considerations?
I have come across a decision that has added another aspect to the three. I knew it, I've forgotten it right now, but I remember these three were considered the core, but it had gone ahead to look at an additional consideration.
Okay, let me put it this way. Any recent Court of Appeal decision that says how you apply those considerations, how you apply them. Okay, let me frame it another way. You have found that there is no prima facie case.
Yes.
You have said here there is no prima facie case. You have found that damages are an adequate remedy. Can you grant an injunction if you think the balance of convenience favors the plaintiff?
Yes, I would. Yes.
Okay. Go and read the case of Kuruman versus Jane Bonde. It will assist you. Yeah, and they say you can't because you have to consider them sequentially. There is one of the cases you have talked about, customary law.
Yes.
Customary law.
Yes.
I'm sure you deal with it on a daily basis. Eh?
Yes.
There are two ways in which customary law can be proved. Can you tell us which two ways those are?
One is by way of expert witnesses, where an expert in customary law testifies. The other one is publications on customary law.
What kind of publications?
For a long time, we had...
what is the test? Not a particular, what is the test?
Of customary.
If I walk up today and I said, I'm here, David Majanja from Kakamega, but I'm writing on Kikuyu customary law, is that a text you would take?
No. It must be it must pass peer review. Yes.
Okay. Yes, texts of a certain standard.
Yes.
You have also been a magistrate for a long time, an advocate for a long time.
Yes,
and when you become a judge, there are certain things we call alarm bells and red flags. Probably an advocate enters into court and you see alarm bells, or a case is brought and you see alarm bells. One of the problems we have is there's a lot of fraud in succession cases.
Yes.
Can you just tell me 3 types of alarm bells that ring whenever you see a succession case? What are the things you look for just to satisfy yourself in your mind that these proceedings are, if I may use the word, kosher? Yes. 3 things.
Okay. Caution number 1 is a person who purports to be a single child. No mother, no father, and if you inquire further, everybody has died. The aunties, there are no aunties there.
Okay, that is one, when the person is alone and is an African. Another one?
Another one is where you see that it's a polygamous family, but one family, especially during distribution, is wants to get everything. So you will wonder where are the others.
Okay.
And
a third one?
A third alarm bell will always be the brothers-in-law who purport to step in for the widows.
Okay.
Yes.
So those are some of the things you look out. You look out for. Thank you. There was a question my colleague asked you about the grants. Yeah, and you said at Colligenda Bona. What is the difference between a grant ad colligenda and a grant ad litem? What is the difference?
Grant ad litem is for collection and preservation, and the other one is for filing, for purposes of doing something specific like filing a suit.
So can you use an ad colligenda grant to file a suit?
No.
Okay.
Ad litem.
Okay. Finally, there is this case, the burial case you did.
Yes.
I just want to draw your attention to one or two things. This case was filed, say, on 18th of September. 18th of September 2020. And then, I'm looking at the date of judgment, and it is saying 2nd of September 2020. Would I assume that is a mistake?
That must have been a mistake. Probably 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah, that was.
So it was.
I fast track burial.
So on
disputes.
18th you had, on 18th it came, and then you delivered judgment on 22nd. After how many days?
If I can, I judgments the next day when it's a burial dispute immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is what I wanted to find out.
Yeah.
And then lastly, and this is just a word of caution, sometimes please be careful a quotation, because when you say in Virginia, Edith Wambui Otieno versus Joash Ochieng Ogo and another, Majanja J 1987 stated as follows. I wish you knew where I was in 1987. I won't say where I was.
Judge.
So just be cautious. You know, you're now, when you become a High Court judge, anything you say becomes a matter of record. Thank you very much. And
Thank you,
wish
my
well.
lord.
The next set of questions will be asked by Commissioner Ngutia.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Good afternoon once again, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Commissioner.
I have 3 questions. One is, when the Chief Justice asked you about your judicial philosophy, I felt as though your answer was moving towards the Bangalore principles kind of stuff and the judicial code of conduct. If I'm to bring the question closer home, when interpreting the law, how do you perceive the law to be? Is it a living document? Is it as written, or the intent of the drafters?
Thank you, Commissioner. My view is that law is an instrument to be used by man. Law is written for man, and it is dynamic. It's definition. It's defining it and understanding it depends on the circumstances at any one given time in the community. So it is there to serve us.
Okay, what provision of the Constitution would then guide the discussion that you have provided?
Article 1.
Uh-huh.
The law is for the people, the will of the people, aspirations of the Kenyans.
Okay.
Yes.
Can also look at Article 259(3). And just looking at the sample writing you have shared, and I would agree that you write very well.
Thank you.
But there is this question that Judge Wasame asked, whether cohabitation is a marriage, and your response was no. In this decision, if you allow me to speak, to quote it, sorry, your decision reads as such: further, such marriage, in brackets, that's cohabitation, is recognized by statute, and the court holds and find there was a marriage. What does this say about the issue of decisional independence? On one hand, you have mentioned it is not marriage, but you're the one you have reviewed the evidence and come up to a conclusion that there is marriage.
There was a marriage.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. In that particular case, yes, it was cohabitation coupled with an affidavit sworn by both the late lady and her husband. However, the Marriage Act specifically does not say and recognize come we stay as a form of marriage. But my understanding, having looked at the evidence that was before me, I really felt that the two parties stayed as husband and wife.
And the reason I'm asking the issue of decisional independence is
Yes.
The concerns of lawyers and also other court users is that at times judges, judicial officers cover themselves with the title decisional independence to come up with not very good decisions. And I will also not blame you so much on this, because the High Court and the Court of Appeal, they are yet to settle the issue of cohabitation.
Thank you.
Yes,
Commissioner.
my last question is around structural interdicts.
Mm.
Do you know what it is? And are you aware of any decision of a superior court?
Structural interdicts.
Interdicts, yes.
I'm not familiar with that, perhaps. I'm not familiar with structural interdicts.
Okay. So then I'll kindly request that you go
I will look
read
at
about
it.
it. Okay, thank you.
Thank
and
you.
all the best.
Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner Gishoy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will be very brief. The Honorable. And one, in a letter written July 2019, you are commended to be a person of very high integrity. Person who is committed, that was your supervisor in Meru, July 2019. My interest would be, could you share with us the strategies you have applied to ensure that that value of integrity that you are commended for, you are able to cascade that to the officers in your station?
Thank you, Commissioner. Integrity is very critical for the judiciary. And wherever I work and the people I work with, I always make sure that the message of having high integrity standard is always preached. And I do not hesitate to take action on people who do not comply.
I'm looking for a framework.
A framework.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. The first thing is to have corruption mapping, so that you're able to know areas that are prone or might be subject to corrupt activities.
Mm-hmm.
So corruption mapping is one of them.
Yes.
Feedback from our feedback from our stakeholders, particularly in CUC, where they can point out what's happening.
Very good.
And sometimes you get it from the media.
Mm-hmm.
We had a full documentary one time on KTN blasting Busia law courts, and what I did was to meet the person who sponsored that documentary, to have a one-on-one and find out where and why they were saying what they were saying.
Okay.
And
under the Constitution, we
yes.
have this principle of diversity.
Yes.
I am conscious that you work in Busia, Cosmopolitan County.
Yes.
What is your understanding, interpretation of that principle of diversity within the context of Busia County or your station in Busia?
Yes, diversity refers to different communities, different people from different backgrounds. Mm-hmm. So the whole mix of people from the communities, from any of the Kenyan communities in Kenya, they are all in a melting pot in Busia. Mm-hmm. So when you're dealing with them, do not be affected by who they are. You deal with them as an individual.
How do you promote that diversity principle in Busia, in your station? How? Question how?
Diversity, sometimes you'll find that there are people who are more marginalized than the others.
Good.
With less access to resources.
Mm-hmm.
And they may not even be familiar with the court processes or what is happening in court, or even making payments for some of the things. So you try and explain and tell them in a way that they understand how to.
Would you regard the county governments of Busia as a key stakeholder for your station?
Yes, it is, Commissioner.
Yes.
Yes.
In your earlier answer, you talked about people living with disabilities.
Yes.
Very key people in our society.
Yes.
When they appear before your court,
you
say that you try to carry them all over. What will be the role of the county government of Busia if it's a partner in your court? What do you do as the head of station?
We should be having a conversation with them, but regrettably they have been unwilling participants. They are not very vibrant in our CUCs.
So when did you last time engage them?
I was swearing in the new governor. I was in the assumption of office committee of the governor, and when we have our CUCs, we invite them. And
you do raise that issue, how they can assist you?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Okay.
But the usual cry of not enough resources, and we shall look into it. So we stay hopeful.
Okay, Madam Chair, my last question is that I see from your CV here, you are Chief Magistrate,
Yes, madam.
Accounting Officer, Chairperson of the County Court Users Committee,
Yes.
Chair of the Corruption Prevention Committee.
Yes.
My interest is you are Accounting Officer.
Yes, ma'am.
What are your responsibilities, Accounting Officer, to this commission through the Chief
The
Registrar?
Chief Registrar.
Two responsibilities to this commission.
Yes, my first responsibility is first and foremost to ensure that the resources that we get are applied for the purpose for which they are allocated.
Good. Another one?
And another one is to ensure that we are compliant with the budget and the work plans that we prepare, and that the monies are used in a transparent and effective manner.
Very good.
There has to be transparency.
We would expect to get two reports from you. One is audited report and financial report. According to the law, how often are you supposed to make those reports available to this commission? How often are you supposed to make those reports to this commission through the Chief Registrar?
We make monthly reports on revenue, income, and all the collections that we do in the court. And of course, there are also the other quarterly reports for every expenditure that we do in that particular quarter when we get the IE.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, in 30th June, then we make the comprehensive reports.
So the quarterly report for this financial year is available to this commission? I can get it from the Chief Registrar for Busia?
Yes, it would go to the Director of Finance, and I believe it trickles down to the Commission.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Thank you,
Thank
Commissioner.
you very much, Commissioner Professor Mugenda.
Thank you, CJ. You only have two questions,
Yes, Madam.
and as a judicial officer, you are normally exposed to stressors and emotions. How do you regulate your emotions?
Thank you, Madam Professor Commissioner. I'm an avid reader. I love to read fiction and books. So when I get a good book, I'll escape into another world of reading. Also take time out. Praise and worship is also good for my soul. So I also do that.
What about in a courtroom situation?
In a
you are-
courtroom
when you are faced
situation.
with stressful situations.
Yes, that happens. And when you're sitting up here as a magistrate or the judicial officer, you as an officer, you have to be the bigger person and try to manage the courtroom and manage the tensions. So you cannot get caught up with answering back and forth with the litigants before you. If things get to a head, perhaps take an adjournment, take a 5-minute breaks for tempers to cool down, then come back and resume.
Have you done that in the course of your duty? Have you adjourned because of what's going on in the court?
Yes, I have. Recently, there was an advocate who came with a whole team of press to submit. I had already questioned him. First of all, he didn't have the right of audience. He was not properly before me. He had taken over a matter after judgment had been entered. And in trying to convince me, he called the press. And I indulged him because I knew he was baiting me. So once you know you are being baited, you just stay cool and you let him talk himself out. Yes.
Could you tell us how you have mentored the younger women coming after you? Do you have any specific?
Yes.
examples?
For the longest time, I've always played the role of pupil master, taking care of students on attachment from the university. While at the Attorney General's office, I was in charge of the program, and it seems to fall upon me even when I was in Meru and currently when I'm in Busia. So I mentor the university students who come to attachment on court. Also, further than that, I've been invited to give talks to to girls candidates and even boys candidates, so that you tell them career options and just generally about life. Yes, so it's something I do. And also as a firstborn, you always find yourself doing this to your siblings and to your members of the family.
Lastly, from me, have you felt differently being a woman judicial officer, or your authority is respected by everybody?
I think, yes, that happens, particularly in communities where women and children are classified together. And I think people will look at me at face value and say, that girl, that is a girl who is deciding that case. And they don't know this girl has 30 years behind her belt. So yes, there tends to be a little bit of discrimination against women, but when you give a sound, good judgment and give reasons, then they stop saying that girl or that woman. Now they start saying, who is that judge, that magistrate?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
Thank you. The last set of questions is Commissioner Rwanda.
Thank you, CJ. Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon,
Before we start our conversation, I'm just wondering from the discussion you had earlier with my colleagues concerning the ramps, I got a bit concerned. I thought Busia has a new court building.
Yes, it does.
And there are lifts.
No, it doesn't have lifts, it doesn't have ramps.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
so
stairs.
These ramps you're talking about are ramps from ground floor all the way?
There are no ramps. That's why we have to physically arrange to carry the handicapped, or even sometimes we swap courts with the presiding judge, so that he sits in the ground floor and does matters from there.
But this issue has been brought to the attention of the accounting officer?
Oh yes.
And the finance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
It's being dealt with?
We hope so. Okay. It is reported.
Okay, thank
we
you.
hope it's being worked on.
Okay. Now, another area I want to engage you on is the issue of case management. What is the overriding objective of case management?
First and foremost, I think it's to identify the kind of cases that you have. How many very old cases do you have that are outstanding over 3 years, the backlog?
Sorry to interrupt you. We've taken a lot of time. I just want you to go to the point. I'm talking about the objective. The objective
of case management is to have effective disposal of your cases, the case docket before you.
Yes. And also expeditiously.
Expeditiously, and
okay,
yes.
Thank you. Now I'm looking at the reports from your station. You've been in Busia since 2019?
Yes.
Okay. Now, looking at your case, the report on your case situation, case backlog situation, it doesn't look like you are doing much to eradicate backlog. I'm looking at the total number of cases you have at Busia, 9,827. And out of those, you have 2,626 as backlog and 1,224 as backlog over 3 years. In percentages, when I compare you to the other candidates that we have engaged here, you don't seem to be doing too well in terms of eradicating backlog. I'm wondering, what are the strategies you've put in place to make a concerted effort to reduce backlog?
In one of the strategies we adopted the beginning of February 26 this year is taking advantage of the new section 17.2 and dismissing cases that are over 2 years, who have not been prosecuted for 2 years, are deemed as having been dismissed.
New section?
It came into effect in February this year.
Okay.
So cases which are 2 years and older, which have not been dealt with, are automatically deemed as dismissed. So we've been identifying those and removing them from the system. I believe we did this in July, August. We should be able to see in the next few months we've removed those cases. We also have continuous dismissals over 1 year. However, there are others that are active and we keep trying to fix them for hearing, and for some reason you put a final adjournment, last adjournment, but something just happens, they're not moving. But we've been working towards finishing the backlog.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, on your report, it shows that your case clearance rate is lower than the national average. This is at 70% as against the national average of 83%. Yet your productivity is quite high, almost double, at 842 against 529. So your productivity is high against the national average, yet your case clearance rate is low against the national average. Those statistics, what story do they tell you?
I'm working very hard,
Mm-hmm.
higher than the average.
Yes.
But more cases are being filed. I don't know. I really have no explanation, because
Okay, it's good also to analyze your performance, because your performance, other than just showing how hard you work, should
Yeah.
also be telling you what challenges you
we
may
are
be
facing.
facing. Huh? Okay.
Yes, and we were looking at our statistics. At Busia, we have the average caseload for the 4 magistrates that we are is 4,000 each.
That is what I wanted to hear from you.
4,000
Okay.
cases per magistrate. So we could do with a few more judicial officers, because
Yes.
Busia is a big station.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We are home with that.
We have 23,000 cases in the Chief Magistrate's Court as we speak.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, my other question is on how you work at Busia Law Courts. You agree with me that collegiality is very key
Yes,
in the
it
working
is.
relationship of judicial officers in a station, because you have to work together as a team to be able to deliver. How do you go about promoting collegiality?
We have frequent meetings with my sisters and brothers, the three other magistrates who are there.
How would you say you relate, especially with your number 2?
We relate well.
Okay, because the reason I'm specifically asking this is because the reports we are getting is that it's not the case, that there is a bad blood between the two of you, but I leave that to you. The other question I wanted to ask concerns community service. In the advert, we had indicated that in your CV, you should capture whatever you do in terms of community service. I have not seen it in your CV. Does it mean you do not engage in community service?
I've next some letters for talks I've called to give because of my CUC work. Recently, CRU called me as a panelist to discuss SGBV when they were launching their new policy. I also was with the Equality Now when they were launching their gender policy as a key spokesperson. And as I was telling Professor, I also have been invited to schools to give talks to the students and candidates. I was a chief guest during the African Day of the Child, where I give the keynote address. So
what is your motivation in engaging in community service?
it is my way of giving back to the society.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I also want to engage you on certain other issues that have been raised from the reports that we have done. One I think you are aware of. We received a complaint against you from
Yes.
one Ms. Ombajo. You were served and you gave us your response. And yes, I read your response. It's quite plausible. But there is still some little issue that is really disturbing to this commission. You must have seen the letter by Ms. Ombajo. It was quite specific on corruption allegations,
Yes.
giving time, place, and manner. And I just want to ask you, because I know, I'm aware, I'm also a judicial officer, I'm aware that most times you have those allegations thrown at you because one litigant is unhappy. But in this particular one, what is disturbing is, or is which is of concern, is the specifics that this particular complainant has given. And I just want to ask you, what exactly was outstanding in this case that would motivate such a litigant to give such a complaint?
This is the assault case. The lady was assaulted by a chief. Yes. I
You
believe-
were served with it and you responded. Let me just look at
Yes,
maybe the background.
that was a complaint, and as one of the commissioners has said, there are some files you see and you know it's a red flag. Because I know when I got that file, I saw that this lady had gone to FIDA, who had been watching brief for her for some time. Then they stopped. During the pendency of the case, she had also reported to many other offices about that particular case. So when I was handling it, I was very cautious and very conscious. So my belief is that really she was just unhappy about my decision in acquitting the person she alleged assaulted her. I'm a strong believer in upholding the rights of a victim of SGBV. And when you see those photographs that she had attached, you sort of feel it gets you emotional. But when you look at the evidence at the end of the day, including her own witnesses who said, who gave evidence contrary to her.
Okay, so I don't want to go into the merits
Yeah,
of the
we
case
won't go
because you
into-
mentioned it's pending appeal.
Then the issue of, she said money was put in my car. We park in a particular place.
Yes, that was in your
Every
response.
morning, that is where I put my car, and I leave until in the evening. So there were no truth in that allegation.
Mm.
That was it millions of money that was put through the window. It is not true.
So this is just a disgruntled litigant.
It is a disgruntled litigant. I'd even call you, the commission, if you want to do further investigations. Even the guards who guard our car, ask them, whoever goes near our cars, nobody.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. To wind up, I have gone through your vetting documents. We have no issue with those documents. Your background report, the report we have is that you have good grasp of the law, you handle children's cases with passion, and you have good administrative skills and control of the court. However, you delay judgments. There are also allegations that you give error judgments and that you come to court late, and all this contributes to the backlog in your station. I don't know what you have to say about that.
It's not true. And if there are times I'm late, I always endeavor to start my court at 9 unless something else happens. Madam Commissioner, remember the CM's office and the head of session is normally the first port of call. So if there's a team visiting from Nairobi, they will first come to my chambers. That could be 10 minutes to 9. So I'll need to attend to them before I go to court. I think that can be my only excuse. If there's something happening, some crisis, you need to deal with it at a station before you go to court. There's an extra little onus on a head of station which might contribute. And every time that happens, I always explain to especially the advocates, and apologize when the court is delayed.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. At least you've had an opportunity to explain why there is that complaint from the ground. And I don't have much more to ask of you. I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Yes. Thank you very much for answering our questions, Honorable Ambasi. I think this brings us to the end of the interview. But before we close, it is always important to ask a candidate whether you have any question to ask us.
Thank you, my lady, the Chief Justice. I don't have any questions, just to thank you all for giving me this opportunity. And I look forward to moving to the next level.
Okay, thank you very much. We wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
We will communicate with you when we finish the process.
Thank you.
Yes, keep up the good work of looking out for the vulnerable.
I will. Thank you, my lady.
Yeah.
Okay.